All right, hello, hello, hello. I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to your week 7 material and just week 7 in general. It's crazy to think that we are already almost halfway to through the semester. So with that, I wanted to backtrack for a quick second and just maybe provide a little bit of insight. I noticed when I was grading current events that one of you shared a current event from UC Davis and their campus garden program, where they address food insecurity for their students and talk about ways in which they can help provide access to food for their students. And so it made me think, because I saw some responses to the questions in the current event, like I wonder if any of the if CWI has anything like that, and if they do, like how do we connect with it and those sorts of things. And so I just wanted to say yes, we do. We do have a campus garden located at the Nampa campus by the academic building. So it's just east of the parking lot, and it's like in between the canal and the parking lot area. It's about 1/4 of an acre, so it's not huge, but it does encompass a lot of different types of fruits and vegetables. So we grow watermelon, cantaloupe, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, onions. There's blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, rhubarb, strawberries, lots of different herb varieties, eggplant, different squashes, pumpkins. Like there's all sorts of fruit and vegetables within the campus garden. And we are in the early stages of planning for the garden this semester. So we usually start planning right around this time. So in March, we like to try to put in some cold crop stuff like peas, carrots, radishes, those sorts of things that can handle the frost. And then usually towards the end of April, definitely beginning of May, we start planting some of our more, what I call warmer crop stuff like tomatoes, peppers, those sorts of things. And then we work the garden all summer long. So myself and a few work study students go out and work in the campus garden. And then we harvest, and everything we harvest goes back to the students. So in the fall semester, students walk into the academic building and there's a table set up with just a plethora of vegetables. So they can grab a bag and just help themselves. And then I host every year a farm to fork dinner where I bring in industry partners and we serve. It's usually a 4 or a 5 course meal that's completely local. So some of the things you were talking about in terms of like supporting organic farmers, this idea of maybe getting away from industrial organic and looking more at our local market. We've talked a lot about voting with our dollar and supporting local farmers. That's really the concept that I've embraced, is keeping my dollar local, supporting those that are engaged in agriculture on a local level. And so we are able to put together one year a 5 course meal paired with different tasty beverages is the words I like to use, that was within like a 20-mile radius of this area. So, we talk about the impact that just our food traveling has on the environment, let alone the reality that our dollar isn't staying locally as well. So the Farm to Fork dinner is a way for those engaged in the community to support the campus garden and continue to sustain the campus garden, because there are, I still have to buy seeds, I still have to repair irrigation, amend the soil, those sorts of things. And so the Farm to Fork dinner is a great way to sustain that for for the students to be able to continue to have that opportunity to work in the campus garden. So it just got me thinking when I saw that current event, like, oh my gosh, yes, we have a campus garden, and you all should take advantage of that opportunity. If it's something that interests you, like if you want to come work in the campus garden, you want to help me at any time throughout the summer, like shoot me an email. I'd love to have you. If you're interested in helping with a farm to fork dinner, I would also love to have you. So yeah, reach out, because it is a resource available to you on campus. So I wanted to highlight that because I did see that in the current events and thought, oh my goodness, I need to talk about this opportunity. So week 7 is open. This is where we move into genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. Some people referred to them as frankenfoods. I've heard them referred to now as bioengineered foods. So that language, genetically modified organisms, is definitely starting to transition out. And now the new term is bioengineered. And so you're going to walk through this learning module that talks about genetically modified foods, and really like why this is a debate, what genetically modified foods actually are, and then, you know, that transition to bioengineered, that language of bioengineered food. So I start out with a little humor. So I ask you to go out and watch the video from Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously it is some humor. I'm sure there's some acting involved, right? But hopefully it just serves as a let's get the conversation started, kind of a funny segue into the conversation. And then this week you're going to go out and watch a documentary called Food Evolution. So this does a good job of, again, presenting both sides of the GMO debate, and really kind of how we've arrived at where we've arrived. This documentary is about an hour and a half long, and this is your quiz for the week. So you do want to make sure you pay attention to the elements of that documentary. I've had a few students reach out, like, how do I be successful on the quizzes? I will tell you, it's no secret. I write the questions in order of the ideas presented within those documentaries. So that's a helpful thing. The other thing I will say is I would watch the documentary and take notes along the way. And then you're always welcome to launch the quiz and have the documentary tab open if you would like. And fast forward, rewind as you are taking that quiz. So it's not a quiz that's locked down. You can have resources available to you if you find that helpful. And then as you're going through the materials, these materials are going to be helpful as you navigate those questions related to your discussion board this week. Pay attention to those specific requirements around what needs to happen with that specific discussion board, especially this last one, because this is really that, like, you need to take a stance. Do you support GMOs or do you reject them? Do you believe they're safe? Do you believe they're not safe? Is the world better with them, or do you think we're creating a problem to then have to create a solution to then have another problem to create a solution? And so the spin cycle goes, right? And so I really want you to think through that, and then make sure that you are providing those thoughtful replies to your peers. So you do need 3 responses. They need to be thoughtful responses about this specific issue. And then, as always, you do have that current event this week for your week 7 learning module. I will say, it's no secret. I mean, we're in week 7 right now. So next week is midterms. I've had a few questions about midterms this week and last week. Midterm week is really no different in this course. We're still going to talk about a food issue. There's still going to be a quiz. That quiz is just going to be more robust. So instead of a 20-point quiz, it's a 50-point quiz. But it's still same amount of material, same kind of layout, still talking about a food issue. It's not a cumulative quiz where you have to think back several weeks ago. So don't get too worked up about midterms within this course, but know that midterm week is on the horizon. This is the time when a lot of students are really struggling with stress, self-care, This is the point in the semester where it really is the rubber hits the road, for lack of better words, and you really are trying to decide, like, holy moly, did I bite off more than I can chew? Am I rocking and rolling and doing a really good job? And how do I maintain that? And it's made me take pause a little bit this semester just because there's a lot going on. So as you're doing your current events, you're probably seeing that food and agriculture impacts a lot of things within the world. A lot of you've talked about COVID and the impact that that has. I would not be surprised as I review current events this week if there isn't information out there about Ukraine and Russia. And for a lot of people, these are things that impact their well-being. And so it's things that they think about. It's things that stress them out. And so I would just encourage you to take a moment to make sure that you have some self-care strategies in place and you have some stress relievers, some ways that you manage stress in place as well. Because this is a point in the semester where students do tend to struggle. And I would say this semester more than ever, there's a lot going on in the world around us, which just amplifies that. So please know that I'm here for you. Please know that I support you. Please know that I know you've got this and you can do this. We're almost halfway done. So, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and hang in there. But as I've always said, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out so that I can help support you and give you the tools that you need to be successful. I hope you all have a fantastic week.